Hello, everybody. This is the Chocolate News Podcast. I'm your co-host, John Alexander Reese.
And I'm your co-host, Andrea Carter.
And if you did not know, the Cincinnati Herald has been around since 1955 and is the leading African American owned newspaper in the greater Cincinnati area and northern Kentucky area. How's it going, Andrea?
It's going great, John. I'm just having a good time. It's an excellent week. And the weekend started off fantastic. Participating in a community day down in OTR. And saw a lot of folks come out at the Grant Park for that resource day for people in the neighborhood. They got free hamburgers, hot dogs, and a number of vendors were out handing out resources and swag and just letting folks know what they can get. And the kids were running around blowing bubbles and playing games. And oh, it's just a wonderful afternoon in the community. And there's going to be another resource day grant community, I should say another community day, I should call it, on June 7th, Friday, June 7th, Wesley Chapel with the Community Partnering Center, which is a division of the Urban League, are co-hosting that community day event, free hamburgers, hot dogs, things like that. So come on out, see the vendors and everything. It's going to have a good time down there. So I'm looking forward to it's summer. So that means events in parks and festivals and outdoor concerts and music. So it's the beginning of the season, the outdoor season. So I'm happy.
Yeah, that sounds really, really nice. And I'm here right now with my dog because she's a child and refuses to be by herself anywhere. So that's great.
Oh,
I'm gonna see how this goes. I'm recording a podcast with the dog right next to me, first time. So let's see how this goes.
oh. Well, I'm a dog lover. I live in a place where I can't have a pet, but I'm just with you, helping you pet mentally, petting your dog. So I mean, there's so much going on in the city right now, all over the place. I mean, the concerts, I don't know, Fountain Square, out in Washington Park and all around the county, and everyone's having music playing everywhere, and everyone's just getting out. It's getting hot, so you have to make sure you're hydrated.
Oh
And
yeah.
allergy sufferers, take your medicine before you go out and stay hydrated. I mean, it's just a wonderful time to be alive despite knucklehead stuff going on. It's just a
Yeah.
great time to be alive and enjoy life. So I'm
That is
just happy.
true. Yeah. So what is the chocolate news of the week?
Well, the chocolate news of the week, there's a couple of little bits that I'm going to mention and have everyone go look up. The first bit is NPR just did a wonderful story about Black male caregivers who don't get the love of the community. These are Black men who are taking care of their spouses or a relative, and they bend over backwards to take care of them, and they don't get the same respect that other people do. So check out that article on NPR about Black male caregivers. And then also the other article that I saw that I think everybody will enjoy is the Beyonce effect with her Cowboy Carter album, which I still have to get and listen to. I have one friend who has listened to it over and over again. She can't stop listening to it. But Black owned businesses are seeing an influx of business that sell Western gear. There are when whoever sells cowboy hats, boots, shirts, skirts, fringe, what have you, they are seeing an increase in their consumers, and whether they're buying online or in the store, all from results of Beyonce and her country music album. So it's hard to find a good pair of cowboy boots out there.
Oh
And
yeah.
just don't go to anybody, but I think it is wonderful. And I think, country music, I'm a small country music fan, not a big one, but I'm a small one. But you have to be in the right mind to wear a cowboy hat and the boots. Though if the boots are made, the boots will make you stand up straight. I will give you that. But if you find someone who makes the cowboy boots and they're wonderful and they're comfortable, you will wear them for life. So there's a reason why people wear cowboy boots for a reason. Anyway, so those are my two little tidbits for everyone to check out and read. But the chocolate news of the day, let's get started. The first one, oh, you know what I didn't mention?
What?
Congratulations to Fannie Willis winning her Democratic primary. So she's going to be in the Georgia general election to run for prosecutor in November. So congratulations to her. That's the other tidbit I forgot to mention. Anyway, but congratulations to Shauna Murphy for being named the interim superintendent of Cincinnati Public Schools. I think it's fantastic. I happen to know Shauna. She belongs to the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, the Sigma Omega chapter here in Cincinnati, Ohio. So we're just, all aghast and pleased for her. Our little chat group has just been heating up with all congratulations to her. Then also on the interim deputy superintendent, Alicia Smith as well, who has been appointed to serve with her. They both said they're willing, they are ready to hit the ground running, and that they believe that they'll do their best to face the challenges that the district faces, as they have a budget shortfall, getting the kids to school, transportation issues, plus negotiate contracts. They have a huge thing to deal with. But Murphy has been around CPS for a little over 10 years. She was the original principal at Woodward Career Technical High School before taking on other roles within the district. She is a Purcell Marian grad. She attended Ohio University. She got her master's degree from Xavier University, and she has a master's in educational administration from UC. So she's local all over the place. So
Wow.
yes, she is Miss Cincinnati. So very excited, very pleased to see what they can do going forward. So congratulations to Shauna Murphy.
Oh yeah.
Next up, there was hype, there was protesting, there was all kinds of stuff that went on. But at the end of the day, President Joe Biden delivered the commencement address at Morehouse College, and he met with the protesters. He acknowledged the protest, and he called for immediate ceasefire in the Gaza Strip. But I think also what he did in his speech is that he acknowledged that HBCU set a standard for leadership. They set a standard for education, and he told the he I think he won over the crowd, even though they were reluctant to give him his due. They gave him his due, and in fact, some people stood up and applauded his speech at the
Mm.
end. I heard a little bit of it when he gave it, because MSNBC broadcast it live. And I'm going to say that I did not pay attention to all of it, but from
Mm-hmm.
what I heard, I was like, okay, he's holding his own. Uncle was holding his own. So, and he did tell the Black press that he was very nervous about appearing before Morehouse, because appearing before a group of Black men can be intimidating, even before you open your mouth.
Yeah.
Because all kinds of things can people think of. But the fact that they are the future leaders of their communities, and the fact that they acknowledge him, they listen to him, and he I think he did a good job of speaking to them directly, not down. He didn't speak down to them. He spoke to them. And I
Mm.
think that's won them over. Because there's one thing, Uncle Joe knows how to connect with an audience, and he connected well with Morehouse. And at the end of the day, he was given an honorary degree from Morehouse, so he can call himself Dr. Joe Biden. So, which everyone loves. I think that is fantastic. It went very, very well for him. It's kind of sad though, as you know, the president won over Morehouse, but unfortunately, in Cincinnati, we witnessed a tragedy, which is kind of sad. It's you always want to celebrate young people, especially their achievements. You never want to see them achieve and then let it end in tragedy. But unfortunately, over the weekend, Lamont Wiggins graduated from Withrow High School. went out, celebrated. He was out late with friends, and then about three something in the morning, he was shot dead, which
So
is
so sad.
it's sad because he didn't even get a chance to do anything. I mean, he his poor family, they celebrated him, let him go and hang out with his friends, and it ended tragically. They were on the grounds of Withrow, or they're on the grounds of a park next to Withrow. I still don't understand exactly where, because I
Yeah.
can't, because I was thinking of the campus, and I'm trying to think, where was this?
Wait, weren't they in the parking lot though?
I think they were in the parking lot.
Yeah, that's
There
what I
is
said. They're in the parking lot, but they were
there's
there at like 3:30 in the morning. I was just like,
right.
why were they there at 3:30 in the morning? I was like,
Well,
go to
with
bed.
those parking lots circle, I was trying to think about where in the parking lot they were,
Mm-hmm.
but there is, coming off of Dana Avenue, you can get into the back of Withrow, and
Right.
there is the parking lot. Then there's the grounds area, so it's kind of like a park-like area back
Mm-hmm.
before you drive around to all of the sports fields and everything, and you can park on the other side of that. So,
Gotcha.
I mean, it's a big campus, so there are various places you can park, but I think they're probably off the immediate area from Dana. That in my mind, that's what I'm thinking. I don't know for sure, but there were about 50 kids crowded in the parking lot during this gathering. It had did come out that the police were aware of the gathering going on, and they were checked on 4 hours before the shooting incident, which is a shame. And you would think that, okay, school property, even though it's public property, it's school property, they should be on there. Why weren't they moved off? But if you're like one or two police officers and 50 kids, you need more than move a crowd on.
Oh
But at
yeah.
the same time, there are people out there, why didn't move them on? Why didn't they just announce, call for backup, and get them out of there? So, it's kind of sad. It happened 3:45 a.m. in the morning. It's just tragic, but
I,
you know,
I just feel like, the kids just shouldn't have been out there. I'm just like, the parents should just have said, I mean, look, I know they just graduated and everything, and it's an exciting time, but like,
yeah.
what,
At some point,
why are you gonna be out there 3:30 in the morning? Come on, seriously?
yeah, seriously. I mean, at some point, and I'm starting to hear more of that. Where were the parents?
Exactly.
Even though he's 18, he's still living at home.
Yeah.
There should have been, okay, you're going to go out, you're going to go celebrate, but you should be home at a reasonable hour. It's kind of sad. I remember when I graduated from high school and I went out with my friends and celebrated, you know, I knew that my parents my mother expected me to be home at a reasonable time. Now, it might have been 1 o'clock in the morning, but I was home at a reasonable time, not close to morning, you
Yeah.
know. And it's kind of sad, like, when do the parents step up? When when where is that shout from the community? Parents, you have these children in your house. Where are you stepping up to say, get in here? Where is that backbone? Yes, they're 18. Yes, they're this and that. It don't matter. If they're in your house, lay down the law. You have to be
Mm-hmm.
held back by this time, because we don't want you creeping in by, no 18-year-old should be walking the court with, the walk of shame that early in the
Mm-hmm.
morning. And when I in the, we all know what the walk of shame is. I believe the walk of shame is not respecting your parents
Yeah.
and being home at a reasonable time, because don't you have a job? They have a job. Respect the household, because you still, even though you celebrate, you still have to get home and do chores.
Yeah.
So it's kind of sad. I hope they catch who shot him. Um, no argument, no anything, no joy should end with gunfire. It shouldn't happen. So, but I wish, I hope everyone sends up prayers to the Wiggins family, support them, and I hope that all goes well for the family. It's just so sad. It's just sad, sad,
Yeah.
sad, sad situation. That being said, the other form of violence I want to talk about is P. Diddy.
Oh God.
Have you seen that video?
Yeah, it's just horrible.
I mean, now, I remember the controversy and everyone was like, well, when you don't see what happened, you can only use your imagination to sort of imagine what went down.
Yeah.
Some people might think that she caused it or, she said
No.
something and all this.
No.
No. I mean, what I saw on that video, he was in a towel. She left the room dressed to leave. She was at the elevator. He was in a towel and ran down the hallway to stop her from leaving and then smacked the crap out of her. I was like, he had no right. The soon as
Exactly.
she left that room and was at the elevator, he should have let her go. No matter how mad you are, you're in the hallway in a towel, trying to hold on to your towel, not to show your stuff, and you're smacking the crap out of her. It's just sad.
Yeah.
It's just really, really, really sad. And even though this happened in 2016 and they resolved it or they had a settlement, it goes to the point of all this stuff is coming out about P. Diddy. Women, he lost the respect of women and men.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
sorry. No matter how talented you are as an actor, as a rapper, as a business person, that doesn't give you the right to hit someone.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm sorry. Does he have children? Does he have kids? I thought he had kids. He has kids.
Yeah, he's got
What's
kids.
he,
Yeah.
what's he teaching children? He has
Yeah.
daughters.
Exactly.
How did his daughters see that he did that to a woman? And that's your father. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I can only now imagine what he's doing to his children.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that, I'm not alluding to it, but he might be a good dad. He just might do that to women. I don't
Yeah.
know. All I know is no situation should anger you so much that you run down a hallway in a towel to hit a woman.
Exactly.
The same way with a young man who died in at Withrow.
Yeah.
It should happen that that young man should be dead right now to pick up a gun and shoot someone. So it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't, you have no excuse, none whatsoever. I
Yeah.
know it's in everybody to reach out and hit someone or smack someone. A lot of people do it in playfulness and stuff like that. But to do what he did, you know, I'm surprised that he wasn't arrested and charged with aggravated assault.
Well, I mean, this was like before Me Too movement and everything. So, like a lot of powerful men were able to get away with that, especially in P. Diddy. He's a billionaire. Well, I don't know if he was a billionaire at the time, but he's, famous, rich, powerful, he was able to get away with them. So,
Well, you know what? My thing is, if you can take down a prince, you can take down a top producer, you can take down a comedian, you can take down a rapper.
yeah,
You should not be afraid. And then if you survive the incident, make sure he is charged and sued for
yeah,
everything. No man has the right to hit a woman, and no woman has the right to hit a man.
exactly.
Not in anger, not in fit, even when you're upset with them. No, because at the end of the day, you can't even say that was crime of passion.
Yeah.
You can't. That was just stupidity. Enough about that. So, a little history lesson. Now, back in, I would just say, how do you explain this? Back, Ed Dwight. Now, not many people know this man's name. Ed Dwight is is 90,
Whew.
but he was the first Black astronaut trainee with NASA, I believe, or with the Air Force.
Yeah.
But he never made it into space. Just recently, he became America's first Black astronaut to achieve his long-awaited journey into space. He went up with the Blue Origin's New Shepard rocket, which is owned by Jeff Bezos. He was one of five and soared into space. He finally got his space flight after 6 decades.
Good.
It it happened on Sunday. It was a 10-minute or suborbital flight in space, but he became the oldest person to reach space, surpassing, oh, this is sad. He surpassed Star Trek actor William Shatner for
Bill
that.
Shatner? Oh,
Yes,
wow.
you know,
Okay.
I'm sorry, but he beat Shatner. Oh my God.
I
Come on.
know. Well, you know what?
Oh,
Good for him because, it's just like normally I don't approve of all these rich people just instead of, helping people just going into space. But you know what? I'll make an exception because he was trained to be an astronaut, didn't get a chance to go, but now he's able to go. So I'm just like, you know what? That's cool with me. I'm glad he was able to go. That's awesome.
yeah, I mean it's fantastic. I'm happy for him. It's kind of sad that he had to wait decades for it. But in the 1960s, just real background, he was an Air Force captain. He was fast tracked for the space flight following John Kennedy's call for a black astronaut, despite his top half graduation from a prestigious test pilot school. He was passed over for astronaut selection. He did write a book, Soaring on the Wings of a Dream, The Untold Stories of Black Astronaut Candidate, which is probably makes for an interesting read. But following his Air Force career, he's actually a well-known sculptor, believe it or not.
Oh, okay.
Which, I know about art, but I'm not don't know everybody in the art biz, but he became a very well-known sculptor. So he went on to a wonderful career. But I'm just congratulations to Edward Dwight and his launch into space.
Good on
So,
him.
so that what this means? That just means that just because you're old, don't mean you can't stop and you can do anything you want.
Exactly.
It just takes time, but eventually you'll get there. Whatever the dream is.
Never give
Remember,
up.
remember George Bush's father.
Yeah.
Remember when he was getting up in age, he was skydiving, even though it was
Yeah.
tandem, skydiving, skydiving.
Yeah.
And I think actually his wife did it too. Come to think of
Oh,
it,
Barbara did it too.
I think
Okay.
Barbara did it too. I was like,
Okay.
you
Well,
know,
that's oh, I'm wondering what my excuse is.
uh, I like being on the ground.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
that I'm I commend anyone who wants to jump out of an airplane and feel the rush of wind in your hair. That is the reason why I like driving a sports car. Even though it's a mock sports car, I have a sports button that when I feel the need for speed, I can hit that baby and go on the highway. There you go.
Uh, feel the need for speed. Don't make me do a Top Gun reference.
I
Oh,
I couldn't help it. It was just Air
oh,
Force, NASA. I just had to go there.
gotcha.
So
Danger
so
zone.
I know, but it's Memorial Day weekend, and a lot of
Yes.
people are gonna have enjoy their 3 day weekend. Memorial Day, we're gonna remember our veterans,
Hmm.
remember how people serve the country,
Oh yeah.
all that good stuff. But at the same time, it's time to party.
Oh yeah.
And Cincinnati, we launch our summertime with what? The Taste of Cincinnati. So,
Love it.
oh, I just, the food, the music, the brew, everything. They're going to have everything. It's going to start, actually, it's going to start Saturday, May 25th from 11 to 11. Actually, the time is going to be 11 to 11 Saturday and Sunday, and it'll be 11 to 8 on Monday. And
That's when I'm going on Monday.
you going on Monday?
Yeah, I usually go later on Monday because the crowds have died down. Not everything is available, but still most of the stuff I want to do, the sample the foods is still there on Monday. So, I'm gonna take a trip down there with my fiance and, gonna sample, the best of the best.
Well, I think the big thing is that it's going to be back on Fifth Street again.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because it's moved around a lot.
Yeah, it has.
Like Taste of Cincinnati. I mean, I'm like Oktoberfest. It's moved around a lot, but it's on Fifth Street. Fifth Street will be closed between Walnut Street and Columbia Parkway. That's big.
Mm-hmm.
That's really big. Ooh.
Yeah.
So Columbia Parkway will be closed between downtown and Sixth Street ramp. Sycamore Street will be closed between Sixth Street and Fourth Street. Broadway will be closed between Fourth and Sixth. That means parking's gonna be an issue. Broadway parts of Broadway that is open will be converted to a two-way traffic pattern to help handle traffic. Sentinel Street will be closed, Lawrence Street will be closed. And also expect that drivers on northbound I-71 and I-471 should expect a marked detour in place to direct around, because you come out near the festival area at times, or get on at festival areas. So just be aware, streets will be closed, but everyone's going to have a good time. Enjoy. Don't be crazy. Don't be stupid. But I'm looking forward to it, because usually there's some nice new tasty treat out there.
Oh
Or
yeah.
there's a restaurant there that they do something well, and you want to go get a small bite of it.
Oh
So
yeah.
looking forward to it. Everybody enjoy, and that is all the chocolate news for today.
All right. Well, that's it for today's show. I want to thank Andrea again for all the great chocolate news. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome, and have a great weekend, everyone.
Oh yeah. And remember folks, you can find more information about today's topics and past podcast episodes at www.cincinnatiherald.com, the Sesh newsletter, or on our social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Threads. And make sure to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast app. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, Amazon, YouTube, and Google Podcasts. And I need to wrap this up because this dog is getting restless.
Well, we had a companion today for the broadcast, so get her out, have fun.
I'm John Alexander Reese,
And I'm Andrea Carter.
and have a good day.